Hi, hello, welcome. Let's discuss organizing window functions. Information and functions must be presented to people when and where they need them. Proper organization and support of tasks by Windows will only be derived through a thorough and clear analysis of user task. Organize Windows to support user task is what the window organization is. Support the most common task in the efficient sequence of steps. Use primary windows to begin an interaction and provide a top level context for dependent windows. We can use primary windows to perform a major interaction. Use secondary windows to extend the interaction also. Obtain or display supplemental information related to primary window. You can use dialog boxes for infrequently used or needed information, nice to know information. Let's discuss the number of windows. We have to minimize the number of windows needed to accomplish an objective. Person doesn't work with Windows simply for the joy of working with Windows. Windows are means to an end, a method of accomplishing something. Multiple windows on a display as described elsewhere in this text can be confusing, can increase the load on the human visual system, or may be too small to effectively present what needs to be contained within them. Guidelines that appeared in early stages of window evolution concerning the maximum number of windows that a person could deal with were quite generous, a limit of 7 or 8 being suggested. As experience with Windows has increased, these numbers have gradually fallen. One study found the mean number of windows maintained for experienced users was 3.7. Today, based on expressions of window users, a recommendation of displaying no more than 2 or 3 at one time seems more realistic. The guidelines on limitations for items like cascades, 1 to 2 cascades, reflect today's feelings. The exact number of windows a person can effectively deal with at one time will ultimately depend on both the capabilities of the user and the characteristics of the task. Some users and situations may present handling of more than 3 windows. For other users and situations, 3 windows may be too many. The general rule here is minimize the number of windows used to accomplish an objective. Use a single window whenever possible. Consider, however, the user task. Don't clutter up a single window with rarely used information when it can be placed on a second, infrequently used window. Let's discuss the window operations. Guidelines for Windows operations are still evolving because of the paucity of published research data. Many of the guidelines are still more anecdotal and intuitive than scientific. Guidelines will continue to develop and change. Our understanding of and experience with the Windows interface continue to increase. Today, the following operational guidelines seems appropriate. Now let's discuss active window. A window should be made active with as few steps as possible. Visually differentiate the active window from other windows. While a system supports the display of multiple windows, the user generally works within a single window at once. This window, called the active window, may be designated either by the system or the user. Many systems make a window active when it is the object of another window in operation. It is assumed that if users wish to change one aspect of a window structure, they also wish to change its contents. They should also be permitted to move to and make any window active with as few steps as possible. This can be accomplished by simply allowing the user to move the selection cursors to the window's interior and then signal by pressing a key or button. For hidden windows, a menu of open windows might be presented from which the user selects a new open window. In some situations, it may be desirable to allow multiple open windows. One research study completed a single open window with multiple open windows in performing a queries and found that multiple windows were described by people as more natural. Performance was slower with multiple open windows. However, the study concluded that if user acceptance is important, multiple open windows might be the better alternative. If speed of task handling is critical, a single active window is more desirable. Visually differentiate the active window from other windows. It is important that the user be able to quickly identify the active window. Methods to do this include a contrasting window title bar, border or background color. An active indicator in the window border which is turned on or off may also be used. A combination of 2 or more of these visual cues may be used as well. The visual cue selected should be of moderate intensity, neither too powerful nor too subtle. Powerful cues will be distracting, subtle cues will be easily overlooked. There are some general guidelines. Design easy to use and learn windowing operations. Direct manipulation seems to be a faster and more intuitive interaction style than indirect manipulation for many windowing operations. Minimize the number of window operations necessary to achieve a desired effect. Make navigating between windows particularly easy and efficient to do. Make the setting up of windows particularly easy to remember. In overlapping systems, provide powerful commands for arranging windows on the screen in user tailorable configurations. There are so many other general guidelines. Easy to use. Design easy to use and learn window operations. The complexity of a windowing system should not cancel out its potential advantages. Operations must be carefully designed to achieve simplicity. As has been suggested, the ideal is that the window manipulation should occur implicitly as a result of the user task actions, not as a result of explicit conscious window management actions. Minimize the number of window operations needed to achieve a desired effect. Establish the kinds of window operations that people are likely to want and minimize the number of operations that must be performed to attain these configurations. Easy navigation. Make navigating between windows easy and efficient. A study found that navigation between windows was the most frequent manipulation activity performed. High frequency operations should also be easy to do. Setting up. Make the process of setting up windows easy to remember. A study found that window arrangement, opening, resizing, moving and so on was a less frequent activity. Low frequency operation should also be easy to learn. User tailorable configuration. In overlapping systems, provide powerful commands for arranging windows in user tailorable configurations. When an overlapping window system is used, provide easy operations to achieve desired windowing configurations. Specific configuration should be capable of being created, named and recalled. Now let's discuss opening a window. Provide an iconic representation or textual list of available windows. If opening with an expansion of an icon, animate the icon expansion. When opening a window, position the opening window in the most forward plane on the screen. Adapt the window to the size and shape of the monitor on which it will be presented. Designate it has the active window. Set it off against a neutral background. Ensure that its title bar is visible. When a primary window is opened or restored, position it on top. Restore all secondary windows to the states that existed when the primary window was closed. When a dependent secondary window is opened, position it on top of its associated primary window. Position a secondary window with peer windows on top of its peers. Present layered or cascaded windows with any related peer secondary windows. When a dependent secondary window is activated, its primary window and related peer window should also be positioned at the top. If more than one object is selected and opened, display each object in a separate window. Designate the last window selected as the active window. Display a window in the same state as when it was last accessed. If the task, however, requires a particular sequence of windows, use a fixed or consistent presentation sequence. With tiled windows, provide an easy way to resize and move newly opened windows. Now let's discuss again opening windows. Typically, when windows are opened, they are designated as active and positioned in the most forward plane of the screen so that they can be used immediately. When opening a window, one should not assume a fixed monitor size but reflect the size of the monitor on which the window will actually be displayed. The Window's title bar must be visible. To focus attention on the newly opened window, display the screen background behind the window in a neutral or subdued manner. When opening windows from an iconic representation, gradually expand the window so that movement is visible. Displayed association of the icon with the window in mind of the viewer. When a primary window is opened or restored, position it at the top. Restore all secondary windows to the states that existed when the primary window was closed. When a dependent secondary window is opened, position it on top of its associated primary window. If a secondary window has peers, position it on top of its peers. Present layered or cascaded windows with any related peer secondary windows. When a dependent secondary window is activated, its primary window and related peer window should also be positioned at the top. If more than one object is selected and opened, display each object in a separate window. Designate the last window selected as the active window always display a window in the same state as when it was last accessed. If the task, however, requires a particular sequence of windows, use a fixed or consistent presentation sequence. The first open tiled window will consume the entire screen. Subsequent windows are usually positioned by default in the system. The system positioning of these subsequent windows may not always be consistent with user needs. The system should allow the user to change the default positions or provide a way for the user to move and resize system provided windows easily. Thank you for watching.